So thanks for your time today, Khailan.
Sure.
So what I wanted to ask you first is that this past summer you represented the women's senior national team, and this was at the Island Games. What was the significance of that opportunity for you?
Well, as a 5-time competitor competing at the Island NatWest Games overseas, it's honestly been very thoughtful and, be able to represent my country in a way that not a lot of people have the opportunity to do that as well. And it's been my 5 times going as well. So I think that's really important, representing my country, especially being an international student in Canada as well. For such a small country where I'm from, Cayman Islands, I think it's a big opportunity as well to be able to represent for myself and for the younger girls back home for me. It's really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And can you tell me a little bit more about what it means to be able to be a role model for young girls and women everywhere, but especially back home in the Cayman Islands?
Yeah, for sure. I do basketball practices every week back home. It's with my basketball club and alumni right now. It's called the Women of Valor Club, meaning fearless. And I think with social work being my biggest career growing up, it's about making sure that showing these young girls that they have an opportunity to go out and expose themselves to different environments and be able to represent themselves as a lady and as a young woman, and just know that nothing is impossible once you put your mind to it as well.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And it sounds like, in terms of thinking ahead to when you graduate, how you're going to potentially combine your career in basketball with your professional pursuits. What do you see the future of your career in sport, but also the future of the Women of Valor Club as well?
Yeah, so currently right now back home, we're doing the Women's League for the Cayman Islands right now. It started January 28th, so during my time here at Laurier playing with the varsity basketball team, me keeping fit and going to the gym and playing in games and stuff is going to prepare me for the league back home. So I'm going back home in April, so I'll be preparing myself for that to compete against other young women that are very talented back home.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And what has your experience been being a part of the Laurier women's basketball team?
It's been exhilarating for me to see the intensity-wise difference from where I've been in school in the States versus going to Europe as well back home. It's getting that the multiple perspectives that I'm seeing, and just seeing it from here, you can just see how different environments are and how purposeful it is to you towards your game and growing as a person. You become more independent as you grow, and it's really exciting to incorporate what I know here as well as back home and just mold that into one thing and create something out of it.
It's great.
Yeah.
And what to you would be your one takeaway or your one piece of advice, if it could only be one thing, that you would want to share with girls and women?
Nothing is impossible. Once you put your mind to something, you can get it done. I've done that, and I've been in situations and cases where I didn't think I would be where I am today because of my opportunity setback. But once you put your mind to something and you put yourself out there, scholarships are there, OSAP is there, just put it out there, because nothing is impossible for you to get what you want to get done in life. And that goes towards anything.
That's wonderful.
For sure.
And who has been your support system that supported you in this journey?
I would like to speak about my mom, Rena Manderson. She's been a light of my life. She's my hero. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for her, and I just want to give back to her and let her know that all that she's done is going to pay off, and she's really proud of me, and I'm proud of how she raised me as well. So I want to give back to her, and as well as my community.
It's really beautiful. Now, I want to jog your memory for another great experience that you've had. Sure. I want to take you back to November in Puerto Rico when you were competing and representing the Cayman Islands in the FIBA 3-on-3 tournament. Tell me about that experience.
That was honestly, it was a beautiful experience. At the same time, a lot of setbacks. I'm used to the traditional 5-on-5 tournament, but this 3-on-3, it's so fast paced. You only have 14 seconds to score. It's like you have to be like, see the plays and know exactly what you're going to do right then and there. There's really no room for mistakes because there's only 3 people, so you always have to keep moving and making sure that you're also getting the chance to be open to score the ball. And so you're passing the ball, you're getting it right back, so you have to be ready to go to the basket or not. And so it's just really fast paced, and that was something that was a setback for me. But physical conditioning and like individual skills with shooting, doing post-ups is very vital on a 3-on-3 tournament.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And do you have a sort of mantra or something that you tell yourself when you do face a new experience or a challenge to kind of help you find that confidence and that perseverance?
Yeah, so I always tell myself, if you don't do it now, when? So I feel like if I can't get to the basket, you have to know when you're going to get there. So I always tell myself that even in practice and stuff, you want to really, like, when you're here for basketball, you're competing 3-on-3 or 5-on-5 in a tournament, just think about what you're putting forth out there. If not now, when, you know? So just keep that in my mind. It's like putting yourself in a position to where if you don't do it, when are you going to do it? At some point you have to. So I think that's very important mantra for myself that I say all the time.
No, I love that. I think that's great. And then I guess finally, my last question for you would be, what do you love about basketball and what do you get out of basketball?
What I love about basketball is how fast-paced it is and how physical it is. And I think me going into basketball, like, I forget anything else that's going on. I could be having a hard day with maybe anything like going on, like, oh, okay, I have a really hard midterm coming up. When I come to basketball, I let all of that out and I'm just running the floor, taking a layup, even if I'm hitting the ground, like, you know, just stuff to keep my mind out of it. And I've been doing this for 13 years playing basketball. It's really a passion for me. It's not something that I have to go to this today. It's like, I want to go to this today and I want to get something out of it. And me being physically healthy and be able to, you know, travel and take that with me is something that's very worthwhile in my experience.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tyra.